God bless you, everyone, and welcome again to this season of prayer, repositioning ourselves through prayer, a focused prayer, a sense of spiritual direction, a sense of seeking God and finding Him. I'm so glad for the opportunity that I have to share with you just briefly and to encourage us again. And I'd like to just share a thought with you from a book that I have found to be very helpful. It's titled Handing on the Fire by Joseph A. Tetlow. And in this book, Father Tetlow says that tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of the fire. I say that again. Tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of fire. And the fire referred to here is the intimacy of the believer with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, as referred to in Acts 1, and you shall receive power. After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and you shall be witnesses. So capacity increases straight away. So there is intimacy with the Holy Spirit who comes upon us, who lights and kindles and stirs that fire inside of us that makes us create a difference. We change the atmosphere. And so Paul encourages Timothy, fan the flame, or literally stir the gift that is in you, which means to fan the flame. And so tradition is not the worship of ashes. And yes, we can get caught into our institutional practices, things that we would do time after time. But I sense through these words that we're not looking so much to engage purely out of ritual. Yes, it's good to do, but because the fire of the Holy Spirit kindles, burns brightly within us, we're going to reach out after God and seek Him. David says, my soul follows hard after God. From the depths, O Lord, I cry out unto you. He says, hear my cry, O God, and attend unto my prayers. When my soul is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than high. It is my prayer, it is my hope and my wish that as the Church of God of Prophecy in the United Kingdom over the next 5 days presses into the Spirit, pushes into the Spirit, pray until something happens. God will come again in His power, in His glory, in His might, and rest in us, rest upon us, moving among us as He did with the early church. Tradition is not the worship of ashes, but the preservation of the fire. Let us preserve the fire by reflecting on Him, by having that dialogue with Him, by listening to Him. Just in those quiet moments, meditative moments, listen to His voice. What does He say into our thoughts? Allow it to run in our spirits, down in our soul, and be crowned in the action by our will. So let the tradition of ashes find its place. but let the preservation of the fire, let you and I be charged with the preservation of the fire. In the temple, Moses, the priest, they were charged when that flame was lit, that fire should never go out. Oh, bless the name of the Lord. There is a fire. The fire of the Holy Spirit should burn brightly in our hearts. And when we come together, it makes a bigger blaze. And when the church comes together, it's not tradition. It's not the worship of ashes. It is the preservation of the fire. And God is in the fire. And when God is in the fire, His presence draws. His presence pulls men and women. And there is transformation. And the capacity is increased. And our appetite is opened up for more of God. Let us reposition ourselves for the preservation of the fire. May God bless you during this week of prayer. Thank you.